Hey guys, I'm Christian from CNC Productions, and this is a very unique video, and this is about the DC Extended Universe, aka like the movie universe with Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, and Suicide Squad. And as you guys see, I'm wearing a Superman hat right now, and basically, the DCEU, like, considering, like, I'm, like, a DC fan, like, don't get me wrong, I like DC superheroes, I like Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, all of them. But, they just suck. Like, the movies are just, like, really bad. Like, not, like, Suicide Squad is actually the first good movie they have made in, like, really good movie they have made in the DCEU so far. But, like, Man of Steel was okay, and Batman vs Superman, even though I was personally looking forward to it, I was like, oh my god, like, it's gonna be a good movie. But in the end, I was very disappointed by the movie. And basically, this video is a retrospective on how the DC movies, like, from like the 90s to now, are like bad compared to the Marvel movies, especially with the DCEU movies. But like, the DCEU, like, Warner Brothers is so focused on trying to like catch up to Marvel in order to like compete with them with the Avengers and with team ups and everything. But honestly, like, the reason why Marvel was successful, the reason why Marvel built up to having a good movie franchise, and the reason why Marvel is more favorable towards Batman vs Superman and the DCEU is because Marvel took the time to making the solo movies with the different characters, because they didn't go with making a Captain America movie straight into an Avengers movie, or straight to like having like all 40 Avengers in one movie and then focus on like a group of villains. Like, they didn't have like Loki, Ultron, Baron Zemo, like, all just be in jail and then just like they didn't do that. That's what DC did. But Marvel, they took the time to make the different movies, like make 2 Iron Man movies, make a Hulk movie, make a Thor movie, make a Captain America movie. And with those movies in the way that they made them, they slowly made each of them tie in with one another, not directly tying them together, but, you know, leaving like little Easter eggs in the end of each movie. Like, in the end of the Iron Man movie, they tease the Avengers Initiative. Like, in the end of Iron Man 2, they tease Thor, and then they tease Captain America later on. And then they had the Avengers, which is the 4th or 5th highest grossing movie of all time. I can't remember, because I know Jurassic Park and Star Wars like bumped it down a bit. Jurassic World and Star Wars Episode 7 kind of bumped it down a bit. But like, the reason why they're so like favorable is because they took the time to make the movies and build the major characters in the Avengers to make them good characters that many of the audience could get behind. But DC doesn't realize how Marvel did their planning. They're trying to push the Justice League and DCEU so badly to make it compare with Marvel when it comes to the Avengers versus the Justice League. But really, they just rushed everything, and that's how we ended up with a bad Superman movie. Like, Superman, like, I liked Man of Steel. I'm not gonna deny, I liked Man of Steel. Yes, the fighting was a little meh, but like, at least they had a Superman movie that was a little self-contained, a little bit of teasing it. That was a good way of starting it. What they should have done after Superman is make a Batman solo film. A Batman solo movie. That's what they should have done after all that. After Man of Steel, they should have made a Batman solo. Then maybe tease other characters in it. then have a Wonder, then maybe tease like, the other characters, maybe then have the Wonder Woman movie, and then if you want, considering the fact that when making Batman vs Superman, Zack Snyder really like teased like majorly like made Aquaman look like it's going to be a big part of Batman vs Superman, but when really he was only in there for 15 seconds. Spoiler alert, by the way. But then, like, you can have an Aquaman movie, and you could have had those 4 movies, each of them teasing the Justice League in a way. Maybe have another Batman movie within that, and then have the Justice League movie. Or if you wanted to, after the Aquaman movie, maybe tease Batman vs Superman, or if you wanted to have Batman vs Superman in the middle between Batman and Wonder Woman, if you really want to introduce Wonder Woman, to have the Wonder Woman movie and then an Aquaman, then the Justice League, yeah, that could have been fine. But one of the major problems about Batman vs Superman, out of all the major problems they had, one of the biggest problems about that movie was them over pushing everything. They're making, like, they're putting in Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They had the scene with like the 3, another spoiler alert, but they had like the 3 like heroes. Like they had Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg being introduced. They made Lex Luthor, which was a horrible part of the movie, along with Doomsday. They put so much into the movie and paced it incredibly badly that it was hated by a lot of people. And like that was a bad way to start the DCEU. That was a bad way to build the DCEU into a Justice League movie. That's just my opinion. That was just a bad way of doing it. Suicide Squad was a good movie. Suicide Squad was a good movie in my opinion. I liked it. I went with my friends, and they didn't have problems with it. They thought it was a great movie and that it was really fun watching it in certain cases. But there were problems with the movie. I'm not gonna deny it. There were a lot of big problems with them. There were a lot of problems with that movie. Not a lot, but there was a few, I would say. But Suicide Squad was a step up, and the way that they're going, they need to do something with it. They can't be pushing the DCEU and everything too much. They can't be throwing in everything. And them doing that was just a way of it's pretty much Warner Bros. Saying, we are impatient to take the time to build the characters. We're just going to put them all in one movie just for the star power. And that's just a bad way of doing business with DC. I felt, as a DC fan, I never felt more a little mad, a little disappointed, but eventually they'll figure it out eventually, and if not, then Warner Brothers pretty much are a fuck up when it comes to DC movies, and that's basically it. That's basically how you would describe the DCEU. They screwed up right away with trying to build the major universe. They screwed up right away when they should have just taken their time. And with that, there are going to be major consequences. I know, Suicide Squad was good, but a lot of people, the critics didn't like it, and there had a petition. Really, I'm willing to admit there were problems in Suicide Squad. The pacing was a little, it was a little better, but it was They keep saying push, but they keep putting the spotlight on certain characters, like Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Amanda Waller. They kept putting the spotlight on those characters rather than the entire team in general. Yes, they had certain spots where Captain Boomerang had his moment, and Killer Croc had his moment, and Diablo had his moment. But they should have just waited. They should have just focused on the other members a little bit more than the main stars, and basically the DCEU is pretty screwed. Like me and my friends think that it's screwed, and like there's no way of like going back and like trying to fight back with it. They've pretty much screwed up at this point. If eventually they decide, oh, this is something that we like, they want to like redo it again later on in the future. Not now, not within the next couple of years, but maybe like in like the 2020s, and they like try to like redo it at eventually, like after like Marvel has done everything and they decide to reboot it. That's just how this goes. They just have to wait and see. So that's basically my opinion on the whole DCEU and my retrospective of the DCEU. And if you guys agree with what I'm saying, be sure to give it a like. And if you don't, leave a comment down below and tell me what you guys think was bad. If you think the DCEU has been good so far, put it in the comment below. If you agree with me, if you still want to tell me something, leave a comment and be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. And be sure to subscribe. I'm Christian, and I'll see you guys next time.